Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. We are getting ready to check out the market heat map really quickly. I'm going to share that with all of you guys. We're going to take a look at how our currency pairs are moving so far today. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. Welcome back to another stream. We had that FOMC meetings minutes news event yesterday. Not a whole lot of volatility in the market because of it, but it was still good information nonetheless. No major news events today, but we do have Canadian unemployment rate and US dollar unemployment rate coming out tomorrow. So that's sure to cause some spikes one way or the other, depending on how those numbers come out. But let's go ahead and dive right into the market heat map. Let's see US dollar pairs are looking a little split today, some trending up, some trending down. We've got USDJPY up 0.84% on the day so far, and GBPUSD down 1.13% on the day so far. So GBPUSD not looking very good there. USDJPY is on the move. Our major indices are mostly up today. US indices doing pretty well, with the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 up 0.69% and up 0.75% on the day so far. But the German 30 is our one major indice in the negative on the day, down 0.41%. Taking a look over here, oil has had a bit of a rebound. Oil was down earlier in the week, down pretty significantly, almost like 4.5% one day. But oil is actually on the move up today. We can see USO right there, up 0.136% on the day so far. Let's take a look at gold also. Let's see how gold is trending. Looks like gold is trending downwards. Here it is, XAU USD. We've got gold right here down 0.79% on the day so far. We'll finish up with the rest of our currency crosses. Euro pairs mostly moving towards the upside, Euro GBP being the biggest one, up 0.71%. Our pound pairs are pretty much all moving to the downside except Euro GBP, which we just mentioned. GBP USD down that 1.13%. Our yen pairs are doing pretty well. Yen pairs have been really down recently from what I've seen in the past couple of weeks. Most days trending downwards, but today doing pretty well. USDJPY up 0.84%, like we mentioned earlier. And the Swiss franc pairs, not a whole lot of movement here, kind of split. GBP CHF down 0.68%. CHF JPY, on the other hand, up 0.44%. And lastly, we have our Aussie dollar pairs and New Zealand dollar pairs. They look almost identical, with most of our pairs shooting to the downside. Aussie US down 1% on the day so far. NZD US also down 1% on the day so far. Euro AUD up 0.47% and Euro NZD up 0.5%. Let's take a look at the watch list really quickly, and then we're going to hop in here with Nick. I'm going to take away these neutral biases just so that we can see our buys and sells. Whole lot of sells. Looks pretty similar to how it did yesterday. NZD CAD was a strong buy yesterday. I believe GBP NZD was also a strong buy yesterday, but GBP USD has broken that -6 score, giving us a strong sell there as well. So that was a quick update, quick look into what we've got going on in the Edge Finder. I want to remind you again that we do have two bigger news events tomorrow with Canadian and US dollar unemployment rates coming out. But with all of that being said, we're going to hop in with Nick in just a second. Here we go.
Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream. Thank you, James, for the intro here this morning. He did a good job just taking a look at some of the market heat map stuff, just seeing what's moving here today, and definitely an interesting day following the FOMC meeting that we had yesterday. Of course, things were not super volatile on the actual release of the meeting minutes yesterday. Though, still, regardless, we still have a sort of a wound up Fed, if you will, right? Federal Reserve still very adamant about keeping those interest rates high to really get serious on inflation and keep it down, if you will, get it to submit truly to what the Fed wants, which is, again, heading back to their target of about 2% inflation year over year. They see that as their primary objective. And, there are many fields of thought when it comes to that stuff. Are they going to crash the markets too much by keeping interest rates too high for too long? Well, we'll have to see. But regardless, as traders, we could take advantage of some of the volatility that comes in. I wanted to show you guys gold here. We're taking a look at XAUUSD on the 4-hour chart, as price just recently tapped back into a level of support, as well as the 50% retracement as well. So I wanted to pull that one up with you guys. So let's look at this here together. So again, big move to the upside, followed by a pullback here, and came right down to that 50% retracement. Nice little reaction so far here today. Gold actually looking pretty bullish from a technical analysis perspective. I would say that a possible continuation move of this overall uptrend is still in play. If you start at the daily chart, you've got a nice upward daily chart trend. You drop it down to the 4-hour chart and you say, okay, well, you have key levels of resistance that broke out here, held on the retest, and continued north from there. So a possible retest here could offer some value, in my opinion, for the bulls for a continuation move. Let me know what you guys think on gold in the chat. I'd be curious to see. Of course, gold always a popular one for traders, as there is plenty of volatility with it, and people love that. So tagging that 1831 here this morning, forming the low of the day so far. We'll see if that can hold. Narrowing down our search just to the 1-hour chart, you can see a bit of a downward structure. If you're the sort of trader who wants to wait for confirmation before a move higher, you could look for a potential breakout of this downward trend, especially if you're like a trend line breakout sort of trader. I know that is, of course, a popular way to trade as well. I would say this trend here to the downside, watch that for a compromise. But if you're more like me and you just like to look at market structure, support and resistance, a retest of this 1831 level looks pretty good for possible longs. And of course, that is just my opinion. I'm not here to tell you to take a trade. I'm not here to direct what you should do in your trading account. I'm just sharing my thought process. It's going to be a massive reversal. Don't go long, Nick. If it is the biggest reversal in the world, right? If we still crash, if we go all the way back down to 1600, I'll still have a stop loss to my trade. So let's say, and this is a careful, a very important thing to do when you talk about trading. Everyone emphasizes which direction it's going to go and the perfect entry, but very few people really truly understand that with every trade they can be wrong, and they need to set a stop loss and understand, okay, hey, if I take a trade here, right, and I'm looking for a continuation move on gold to the upside, I'm saying, okay, 50%, I'm willing to take a bet, right? I am taking a probability-based decision that I think this thing will continue. It is not a certainty. Professional traders know that there's no certainty with any trading setup. There is no guarantee with setups, no matter how good of a chart pattern trader you are, or technical analyst, fundamental analyst, it doesn't matter. The markets are not 100% predictable, and they never will be to the average person. So instead, we have to accept that there's always a probability that we're wrong. So if you think the markets are going to go short, that's your opinion, but your opinion could be wrong. If I think the market's going to go up, that's my opinion, and I could be wrong. But in both cases, what separates winners from losers in this game, at least in my experience and in my interviews with professional traders around the world, winners let big trades run, and they quickly try and cut out when they're wrong. They try and minimize what hurts their trading account, and they try and maximize what helps it. And again, in theory, that sounds great, but what actually traders tend to do is as soon as stuff makes a move in their favor, they just close out the trade out of fear that the market's going to reverse on them. And sometimes that is going to happen, but professional traders let the trades that really count make a huge impact on their trading account. And this is where you potentially get what they call asymmetrical returns, where when you're right, you have huge wins, and when you're wrong, you take small losses. That is the name of the game when it comes to my trading style. I am a trend follower. I trail stops. I let my winners become giant if I can, and I try and stop out very quickly for small losses if need be. So there's my thought process on gold. We'll see if that one can hold out here at the 50% retracement today. We'll watch gold, and we'll be coming back, of course, to it tomorrow in the stream as well. If you're new to the stream, make sure to do me a favor really quick and just hit the thumbs up button on the stream. Help me share this message with more people. We are here doing real trading, real tips and tricks for free each day. And I want you to make sure that you subscribe so that you can come back each day for more live content, learn with us, work with us, and take charts one at a time with us. So let's keep going. We'll take a look at the dollar here real quick. A quick, just a view here at the dollar shows you that there's a big move happening here today off the 4-hour chart. A giant move, in fact. The dollar is making a serious move to the upside. And what I want you guys to notice here, look at this. We are potentially even breaking out of major resistance at 104.8. So the dollar, watch it on this candle. We're looking at a 4-hour chart. And this candle right here, the latest candle, is looking to potentially close above major resistance. That could, if it, makes a serious enough move above the previous highs, could offer some continuation plays on the dollar. Now, of course, a dollar move like this is usually going to be accompanied by a stock market down move, and that is what we're seeing here. The S&P 500 falling apart here a little bit in the early hours here of the New York session. You can see really the 15-minute chart taking a dive there, and the dollar shooting to the upside, breaking through that resistance at 104.8. So a big day for the dollar bulls here. And again, taking out that previous high is a pretty big accomplishment for the bulls. We closed on the hourly chart above. That's a big accomplishment. The question is, though, on the 4-hour chart for the swing traders, for the big time frame traders, where a lot of big money will potentially move in. Can we see some sort of a breakout here? Can we see something that can give us a clean enough break to give us a retest opportunity? So I think if you see a move on up into areas like 105.23. Any pullback is going to be opportunities for long. Now, that is more for the swing traders on the higher time frames. Let's narrow our search here down to the 1-hour chart. We'll talk about short-term day trading opportunities, or perhaps even for shorter term swing traders. Take a look here with me at the fibs that we've got here. So from this initial move here in the last several hours, we've seen a big push. So if we can get something like 105.18, if we can tag something like this just to squeeze a bit more, that to me is going to take out all the sell interest in this area. And then from there, any retest to that area to me would be considered potential demand to continue the march north. That would be my thought process in the dollar based on a technical analysis perspective here this morning. Definitely started a bit of an uptrend here. Rups says it is certainly giving it a good try this morning. So we'll see if we can break and keep above this level of resistance today. It's a big one. So what's your bullish to most bearish currencies, man? Hey, David, let's take a look. I'll take a look at the watch list. We got a little bit of insight on this from James here this morning. So here's your watch list, at least what I'm looking at this morning. So this is going to give me, if you ever want to know what I'm watching for potential buys and sells, I'm 95% of the time going to be looking to be on the bullish side of these assets right here and the bearish side of these. Okay. So my thought process with this is that what this is looking for, and those of you who are regulars on the stream, you already know what I'm about to say. The Edge Finder basically scans for all these different metrics: smart money positions, retail positions, seasonality, trend following setups, GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and it tallies it all up and gives us a bias. So my watch list here this morning, what I am looking at personally for possible trading setups is going to be right here on the buy side. I'm looking at potentially Euro GBP, the German 30, Swiss yen, NZD-CAD. And on the flip side, sell side is going to probably be, the lowest ranked assets here: pound yen, AUD NZD, GBP CHF, pound US dollar, pound New Zealand. So that's going to kind of be where I'm focusing my attention as we go into today's action. So let's look around, see what's going on with pound yen. So GBPJPY, not moved a whole bunch here on the 1-hour chart. You can see we had a nice move to the upside, now consolidating. So I don't love this one from a chart perspective. Let's go back to the watch. Let's see what else. Pound USD on the sell side. I'm betting that this one's probably having a move to the downside. Yeah, look at that. So pound USD down pretty hard today. Did not quite hit my level. I was looking at a potential short up in this 1.21 level. Never quite got there. So a bit of an unfortunate situation there. I would have loved that short on pound USD. Again, it was on my watch list here as a possible sell going into this week. So pound USD, huge move to the downside. And the question is, have we just totally missed the move? And I think the answer is yes, if you were trying to catch this action. If you were short biased like I have been on the pound USD, I think we might have missed it, unfortunately. But it doesn't mean we can't reset and look for the next potential wave. So if I mark this area, right, I'm talking about this 1.1920 level. We are sitting at support. And watch this, you guys, as we continue trading here towards the end of the week. If we get a capitulation move underneath this level, like a big break, a flush to the downside, whatever you'd like to call it, if we can take out those lows, possibly looking to sell the retest, resets us a little bit, right? As long as we get that big move followed by a retest, I'm still game to potentially pick up the trade on the short side. So I'll show you what I'm looking for here. On the pound USD, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. If we could see a flush to the downside, and again, this is a bit aggressive, but move down to 1.1820, retests to there, could be an opportunity, in my opinion, to look for sell side continuation. Anyways, pound USD is a sell overall, in my personal opinion, but still waiting for a technical setup to line up for me before I can actually take the trade. Now we'll flip it around. We talked about euro pound, one that I want to potentially get long on. Flip this chart here around. And hey, you know what? Euro pound roaring back, finding support down here in that 0.8805. 0.8785. So we saw some support come in and a lot of momentum picking back up with this one. So for euro pound, let's go double check, but I believe that this has a bullish bias. Yes, so we get a +3 on euro GBP. So that's going to be enough for me to potentially look for buy trade setups. And so if I look at euro GBP and I go over here and I say, okay, we've tagged major resistance, right? So major resistance has been hit. What are we going to do now? Well, the reaction is likely going to be what we saw previously, some sell side. But the interesting scenario would be if we can actually get a break above. So I'll show you this. If we were to see something like this, where we get, okay, yes, we're at resistance, but if we break above, we show clear signs that new demand has been found for the euro pound. This would be a bullish trade setup. Right? So we're sitting at resistance. We have to respect resistance for what it is, but we're still in an uptrend. And I think if we can break through that high, there may actually be a beautiful opportunity to look to go long and continue the momentum to the upside. By the way, you guys, I am looking at the Edge Finder. We do have free trials available. If you want to try it out yourself, there's a link right here. To grab this link, you can just go down to the YouTube chat. If you're on your phone, it's below you. If you're on your computer, it's to the right of you. Click that link, fill out the form, and you can get access to a free trial of the Edge Finder if you want to try it out for yourself. Again, if you watch the streams every day, you'll basically be able to see, generally speaking, what my watch list is, what I'm personally looking at. I just go to this watch list section. We put it right at the top for easy convenience. But you've got so many different things. And I would encourage you, even if you don't intend to actually ever buy it, just try it out, because it's got so many cool things for you to consider in your trading. You can track what the smart money traders are out there doing. What are they buying? What are they selling? You can see what the crowd is doing. What's the crowd doing, right? If we were to look at this, for example, you've got dollar Swiss and CAD Swiss. These two are the most heavily bought by retail traders. So those are probably ones that I would not want to be buying myself. Right? If we flip around, CHF, JPY, and NZD CAD are the most heavily shorted assets by retail traders. So if we know, and also UK 100, sorry. If we take a look at those ones, right, those are assets that retail traders are piling into short trades on. And so if anything, I'd rather be on the long side than that. Just knowing that the retail crowd, unfortunately, tends to lose money. It's a red flag to be piled into the same trades that they are. Not always, and they are sometimes correct, but understanding where they're positioned can be a powerful insight to your trading. So if you don't already have the Edge Finder, like I said, we dropped a link in the chat. If you'd like to try it out, click that link, grab it for yourself today. Just fill out the free trial form, and one of our team members will get to you as soon as we can. So yeah, let's go back to the chart, see what else. So euro pound, like I said, if we can break through highs, be happy to look for possible longs, but right now still in no man's land. A lot of stuff just kind of on the sidelines for me right now. Let's see, what else do we have? CAD JPY is a possible sell. Let's go look at CAD JPY because I know CAD yen was making a move higher. So CAD yen, this is interesting off the daily chart. Now, this is not for the day traders out there. Let me say that real quick because this is a strong bullish candle here on the daily. So for like the 1 hour chart traders, 15-minute chart traders, CAD yen probably looks very scary to try and short. But if you have a wider stop loss, if you have a wider appetite for longer trades, CAD yen might actually be interesting as we tap into levels here. So I'll show you the 4 hour chart, might actually be easier to see. So you've got this downward structure, price is retesting, not quite retesting resistance yet, but as we poke up into this 99 area, 99 to 100 area, I would anticipate that that's where, if the sellers are going to be here, they're going to be here, right? If sellers are going to take a piece of this market, you would imagine after this lower high, a retest of this area, that would be where they're interested. Is that a guarantee that it's going to go down from there? No. And this is the key difference between amateur traders and professional traders. Professional traders never work in certainties. They always work in probabilities. Probably, I would anticipate that sellers would come in there if we're just going with the downward trend on the 4 hour and daily chart. But that's why we put stop losses. That's why we control risk. And so if we were to take that trade, for example, if we took a sell trade, let's say around 100, right? So if we took that sell, the stop loss would be above structure. And this is a wide stop loss, and probably not for the day traders, like I said. But looking for that continuation could give you excellent risk to reward there. David says, Nick, you've changed the way I perceive the market. Thanks. Boss, I owe you. David, thank you very much for the kind comment. You don't owe me anything. Just hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, help me out on YouTube a little bit, get this message to more people, and share the live stream with a friend. I don't know. That would be the coolest thing. So, yeah. Lizzie wants me to look at US 30. Lizzie, thank you for the request, but please don't spam the chat. It makes it hard for me to see what other people are saying. I know you want your chart to be looked at, but there are other people who also want theirs to be looked at. So I'm doing my best here to try and go through. I requested the Edge Finder yesterday. I haven't gotten contacted yet. We are working through requests as fast as we can. We actually just hired a new person to help out as we have so many people who want to try out the Edge Finder. They need training on the Edge Finder. They want to trade with it. We've got a third person who's going to be helping with that starting on Monday as we piled up a tremendous number of people requesting. So for those of you who are waiting for free trials, please be patient with us. We are going to get to you as fast as we can, and we'll see what we can do for you. But if you don't want to wait in the line, you could just go ahead and purchase it or get on a payment plan for the Edge Finder if that's something you're really interested. But we will be handing out free trials. It'll just take us time to do it. Yeah, it's been very, very popular on our end. So we're doing our best to share it with more people as fast as we can. Nick, will you long or short a pair if it is on your Edge Finder watch list? So good question. I talk about this often, but basically what I do is if something is on here, I look for technical setups. And if it lines up, I take trades. So just because pound USD, for example, is a strong sell doesn't mean I'm just going to go outright short the pound USD. This is not a signal to just sell it right now. It is a bias based on the factors that we have here, generates an opinion, right? And then I'll go look at the chart and talk about setup. So if you back up in the stream, you'll listen to where I talk about pound USD. That is a setup for me right now. That's not quite technically ready, like technical analysis wise ready, but from an Edge Finder perspective, looks pretty good. Fundamentals, sentiment, etc. So AUD USD is another one that I wanted to look at with you guys. So let's pull up this one, Australian dollar, potentially on the sell side. So again, another pending one here for us. We've kind of fallen out of favor here, but what I don't like trying to be on the short side here is that we've still got upward structure. So what I'd be looking at for those of you who are watching AUD USD, if you're a bear like myself, what I'm looking for is a breakout, right? Show me new lows, show me pullbacks, continuations, where then I can actually see an opportunity. But I'm not just gonna jump into a short if the technicals don't yet tell me to do so, right? The Edge Finder for me is like, it helps me with direction. It helps me if I'm going to be long biased, short biased. But then my technical analysis and charting and price action stuff, that's where I'm actually going to be looking to pick up trades. So I like Aussie dollar on a break and retest. We'll watch out for something like that, but it's not quite ready just yet. Back to gold here. Gold at the 50%. I'm still interested in this one just for a technical play. We're close. We're close potentially here. 50% retracement. I'm going to be patient on this one because it doesn't have a great confirmation from the edge finder. So I'm not going to rush to pick this one up, but I do really love the technical play and may be interested in trying it out here, especially if we can get that last, if we can just get one more point here. I would be really interested to see if we can get some long setups on gold going. Nick, will you long or short a pair if it isn't on your edge finder watch list? So I just kind of answered that. 95% of the time, no, right? I like to have the bias with every trade I take. But gold is like right now, I'm talking about that. It only has a +2. I like to wait for at least like a +3. I like to wait for confirmation from the indications that I look for, which all the indications I look for are listed right here. I like them all to line up or at least to get close before I take trades. So I am bullish on a technical analysis perspective, but really hesitant just because, again, I don't have all the factors that I want. So would I take this trade? The answer is yes, but I might take it on really small size, right? Maybe I just love the technical setup so much. And I'm like, okay, I'll take this trade, but I'm going to do like half size because the edge finder doesn't quite give me the confirmation I'm looking for. Oil, I think, was very close to, yeah, it's still just neutral. Never mind. I thought I saw it peeking into the bullish territory, but not too much there. So yeah, yen pairs have been pretty crazy recently. CAD JPY, another one, making a crazy move here this morning. Again, we talked about that one on the lower time frames, looking bullish. But if you're bullish on these yen crosses, like I said, I would just be cautious as we near major levels of resistance. You very well may see, a push up to these levels, but then some sort of retracement, some sort of give back the other direction. Guys, if you're not already in our free Discord also, we just dropped that in the chat. Thank you guys for dropping that. If you want to join us inside of the Discord, it is available for free. We do have like free analysis being shared each day and all sorts of stuff. Trade setups and things like that are often shared. So check that out if you want access. So yeah, that's what I've got. Let's bring in, we've got Miko joining us here, and I'd like to actually say hello to Miko today. It's been a minute since I've seen my friend Miko. Miko, how are you, sir? We'll bring you in. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm good. How are you, Nick? How are you?
I'm good. How are things in the UK?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's cold. I was recently on holiday, so it's back at the cold weather now. But yeah, it's not too bad of it. It's not too bad.
Good. Well, I feel like I thought I'd read somewhere that it was actually warm in Europe, but maybe still just freezing cold in the UK. But I'd be curious to see if that has any impact. Of course, always think about markets. If that will have any impact on commodity prices and stuff like that. But Miko, I want to get a little stuff going with you. What are you looking at here today? What's your thoughts on some of the recent volatility starting out here in the new year?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good to see the market moving again. I mean, my main focus right now is a lot on the yen pairs. I'm looking for a lot of shorts on them. I did actually get short in euro yen today and actually took a loss on that one. Got into the trade a little bit too early. I entered the market on this candle, and then that candle then took me out of the trade. But I'm still looking at the yen pairs. CHF JPY, I'm looking at shorts for this one. Euro yen, I'm looking at shorts as well. USDJPY, I'm looking at shorts, so this one's coming up now. So I'm still pretty bearish on the yen pairs. Dollar pairs, I haven't quite got a bias for that one. It looks like things could be breaking to the upside for the DXY, so we might see some dollar strength, but I'm not quite sold just yet. So my main focus is on shorting the yen pairs right now.
Fair enough. I saw I was doing CAD yen a little bit earlier. What's your thoughts on CAD yen? I'm sure our markets will probably look up pretty similar, but I was thinking it was nearing some resistance as well, just like many of the yen crosses, like you mentioned.
Yeah. CAD yen as well. I do like CAD yen as well, but for me, I do like my confluence, and with CAD yen breaking through the trend line, I'm not too happy with that. Other pairs like USDJPY is still kind of in this kind of channel it's moving in, so that's why I prefer this one a little bit better. But yeah, the JPY pairs are going to move quite similar. CAD yen, I mean, if I expect the JPYs to go down, I expect CAD yen to do as well. I'm not sure about CAD. CAD looks it's been quite strong as of late as well. But coming into this area, we might see a reaction. Not too sure if we'll head back down to the lows, but I think shorts still look good for on the 99,500 mark for CAD yen.
Very nice. Do you have any thoughts on the S&P recently? I've been, man, it's been caught in this range. I've been holding on to a boring long trade for like, I guess it's been like 2 weeks now. It's just been caught in that chop. I bought it at the lows of the chop, just thinking, hey, you know what? As we go into the new year, there's potentially that January run we could see. Support was holding for the time being, so I just threw some in there in the account, and you know, it's just been choppy as anything recently. Do you have any thoughts on the S&P or the Dow or the Nasdaq? Any of them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the price action there is awful, but yeah, when it gets like this, it comes like 50-50 to me now. So originally I was looking to see what the market can do on this level here, which is kind of flirting around, hasn't quite got to that level. So I was looking to see if the market could come out, actually retest this and potentially go down again. But ever since we got into this range here, and a lot of the other indices have been doing that as well, I've just been sitting on my hands, and I don't really have too much of a bias for this anymore. I just want to see what it does on the breakout, whether it's the upside to the downside, and I'll have a bit more clarity. But for me, I would say I'll focus on that level. But yeah, it is been moving very, very ugly, so that's unfortunate there.
Yeah, fair enough. This is totally an impossible question to answer, but what do you think about indices this year? Do you think there's more pain ahead for like the S&P and you know, the FTSE and all the indices, or do you think that there's some sort of recovery coming? Do you? I know it's sort of more of a macro mental question, and feel free to just say I'll just wait till the trends start. But I'm just curious if you have opinions or not.
Well, in my head, I've got that I'm expecting more downside for them. So,
Sure.
US 30, US 500, yeah, I do expect them to go down. But again, that's a lot on technicals, a little bit of fundamentals. But I'm looking at the price action here for the S&P and US 30, and they don't look too good. Like we've had some nice runs, especially towards the end of last year. But I'm not liking in terms of the conviction. We haven't really seen them rip to the upside because I've been looking at prior cycles, and normally when they get going, it's difficult for them to stop. Whereas towards the end of last year, they're kind of just topped out. So I do think we could be in for a bit more downside for them. Maybe a recovery later
with you.
in the year.
I think like most traditional charting would say, and I would tend to agree, that there may be some short-term rallies, there may be some possibilities there, but on that daily chart looks pretty dang ugly for downside continuation until proven otherwise. You know, it's like it's one of those things. When you look at the S&P, when you look at the dollar last year, right? The dollar was in that just crazy monster uptrend, and it was like if you were trying to call the top of that, you just were sitting there getting hurt over and over and over. So really, truly, probably the best technical answer I would say is looking for that breakout. Show me some proof, you know, before looking to change directions. The other one I was going to ask you before I leave you on the show, Bitcoin. Do you have any thoughts on the crypto world? I mean, I'm not a big crypto trader myself, but I got into a long conversation about it yesterday. Same thought with Bitcoin or different?
I mean, more or less the same thought. I mean, I've been talking quite a lot about Bitcoin on my streams with my guys.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really trade Bitcoin. I think I took one trade. It was maybe a year ago. I was having some fun. But yeah, I don't really trade it, but I do actively look at it. And I do think that there's some potential in this one. But personally, for me, I wouldn't touch it until it comes into this area here. So all of this for me, I think is just price kind of just a little bit sideways, looking for some people to participate. But I wouldn't personally touch it until 13K to 12K. Maybe we could see some upside from there.
Yep, I tend to agree with you. I think like at some point, if it dips like crazy, I might grab a tiny bit of it just because the risk to reward would start getting real nice, but it would still be, like I said, it would be so much less than 1% of my overall portfolio. So it would just be sort of a speculative tiny component. But Miko, I'll leave you be. I'll let you have the stream for a little bit. If you guys don't already follow Miko on his social medias, check him out on YouTube. We'll drop his link in the chat, and we'll let him stick around. You guys can take a look at some technical setups with Miko for the next 20-30 minutes. So enjoy, Miko.
Thank you.
Catch you later. See ya.
Okay, guys, what is up? Hope everyone is doing good. Like always, I will go through some of the charts, some of the pairs in my watch list for the remainder of the week. If you guys want me to take a look at a particular market, particular pair, let me know down in the chat. If you have any questions, let me know down in the chat as well. But yeah, I'm quite focused on the JPY pairs. I've been looking at some big swings for the AUD pairs as well, AUDUSD and AUD to the downside, but not quite ready on the confirmations yet. We are seeing some dollar strength, while AU is definitely taking a bit of a dive there. So yeah, DXY is loving life there. So yeah, if we can get a confident breakout here to the upside, that's when I'll start being a lot more confident with the dollar buys and the dollar bulls. And then I could be looking for some shorts on the AU, Euro USD, and Pound USD. So once I get the confirmation there, a strong breakout, maybe a nice daily candle closure as well, that's when I'll be more confident with the buys here for the DXY. But until then, I'm just going to wait to see what happens with this momentum. Personally, for me, I'm focused a lot on the JPY pairs for the sales, like I said earlier in the stream. USDJPY is looking very, very nice coming into this area. I'm liking the confluence, retest that area there, double top, coming to the trend line, retest that price structure around 134,500. I'm looking to see if we can get some shorts up there. Hopefully, you can get a setup. Not sure later today, maybe later today, but hopefully maybe tomorrow. If not, end of next week, doesn't really matter when we get the setup. AUDJPY, I'm also looking at this one as well. Hopefully, you can come a little bit higher. I'm looking at price coming into this area here, or preferably this area here, because it does line up with this bearish structure. As you can see, consistent lower swing highs here with AUDJPY. I'm seeing if we can get a nice drive into around the 91,500 to 92 mark for some sales there. So still quite heavy with the shorts with the JPY pairs. I did get burned on Euro Yen earlier today, so it's not always a happy ending, but it doesn't really matter with correct risk management, correct risk to reward as well. The win should take care of the losses. So even though I did take a loss here on Euro Yen, I'm looking to see if I can get back into the trade. We might push up a little bit higher into that level there, around 143. Still more than happy to short from up there as well. See you move to the downside, even better risk to reward as well. So no lovers lost there with Euro Yen. But yeah, I'm still looking at shorts for these guys. Really like the opportunities we're getting. Very, very clear structure, which is why I always say, you want clear structure with clear momentum, which you can see here. You can see there, very, very clear structure there of clear momentum. So we'll be looking for sales on Euro Yen, CHF JPY, AJPY. I don't plan to take all of them. I'll just see which one's providing the best setup, because they're all partner with the JPY currency, so they'll all move very, very similar, maybe at different paces and the different rates. But I'll just be focusing on one position, which gives me the best setup. Hello guys, what is up? I haven't actually said hello to people on the stream. A lot of highs. Let me take a look. Hey March, as always, welcome. How are you doing? Hope you are well. Hello, Opimo. Yeah, I'm butchering that name heavy. My apologies, but I hope you are doing good. Angelo, what are you saying? Welcome to the stream. Vincent, how are you doing? Welcome. Silver, we'll take a look at. No problem. Pound AD, Euro USD, bunch of pairs here. USDJPY, we went over that one just briefly here. So yeah, looking at some sales, looking at a setup like this for USDJPY for some sales back down into that prior low. So that is what I'm interested on for this pair. It'd be interesting to see what we do with the DXY as well, because if dollar's strong, that should affect USDJPY some bit. So it might be better off shorting some other pairs like AUD or AGJPY or Euro JPY, Pound JPY, but it's still a great setup from a technical perspective. So I'm definitely more than interested in the 134 shorts, see what we can get from there. The market hasn't quite come into the area yet, but when it does, I'll monitor it on the hourly, see what type of confirmations we can get, and then yeah, we'll wait for confirmation to short it. And targets back down at 130 for that one. But yeah, let me take a look at some of these pairs. So silver, we'll take a look. Silver, Pound AD, Euro USD, we'll get through those. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone had a good New Year's and is ready and charged to go in the market again. Okay, we'll start with silver. So what's happening with silver? If it's anything to do with gold, we should be heading a little bit bearish. Yes, we are a little bit. So yeah, silver looks like it's taking a little bit of a dive there. So if you zoom out and look at the larger structure of silver, it's quite interesting. The market has been ever so slowly bleeding to the downside. You can see with these consecutive lower highs and also consecutive lower lows. And we're coming to the vicinity of an area where we could actually be placing another lower swing high around this 24 mark, retesting this structure here. Let me just go to like the weekly, probably clarify things up a little bit better for you guys. There you go. So yeah, we've got the lower swing highs heading down, the lower lows as well. And now we're coming into that price support. Respecting that few wicks to the upside, we could actually see a bit of a move to the downside for silver. Quite a big move to the downside, potentially back down to lows, which is a hell of a swing. I would say keep an eye on this area here. Reason being, it's a very key support at 22, which as you can see there, but 18.5 we'll call it, could be where silver's heading towards for the next few weeks. 22 looks very, very likely as well. We'll see how this weekly candle closes. If it closes like this, nice bearish shooting star, wick to the upside, closing that bearish engulfing as well. I do think that for the next 2-3 weeks, we could be seeing a move to the downside into 22. So taking that information into the full H time frame, you can see we're starting to break through some structure now, breaking through these lows. So you can start to form a lower high. You know, these are some great places to look to go short and take it back down again. Potentially come into this area around 23.8. Around there could be a nice little place for some shorts and target down at 22. If you're feeling brave, you've got that level all the way down there. But I would highly recommend taking some profit before that and taking some partials along the way. We potentially could get there, but there's a good chance price could turn back against you before hitting that level. But yeah, silver for me looking pretty good for some sales. I like the structure break here, a bit of momentum. Keep an eye on 23.8. Obviously, these lows here will be good targets too. But 22, I think price has a good chance of being attracted down towards that level. Pound AUD, we'll take a look next, and then we'll move on to Euro USD. So pound AUD, we're looking at this one earlier on my stream. I had a really nice break and retest of this level here. Lovely, lovely wicks there during the Asian session to the upside. We have seen the market roll over. Didn't quite come and hit that support before the market's pulling up. Again, the market's not always quite perfect. Sometimes it will do this, which is very, very annoying. You know, it's coming to support to your TP and it just pulls up. And the market will do that from time to time just to keep you humble. Yeah, the market is trading the key support level on the daily. So it's kind of why we're kind of reacting like that for pound AUD. But if you're looking at this one, sells up here at 1.765. The market may just want to come back for another retest before looking to fall over again to the downside. So shorts for me for pound AUD still look pretty good. It's still a pretty bearish market here on the 4H. You can see the consistent lower swing highs and lower lows we have been printing here. So I would expect us to place another one. If the trend is going to continue, of course, unless we go and break through structure up here, then we can change our bias completely. And we might be seeing the market actually trend to the upside and we can focus on buys. But for now, keep an eye on 1.765. And also, I would say this high here as well. You could see another drive to the upside like this to sell off. The market might want to have a deeper pullback before seeing the move to the downside. But nonetheless, sells is your best bet for pound AUD. So that is what I would be focusing on that pair. We'll take a look at Euro USD as well. Then move on to Euro CAD. My opinion on pound yen, we'll get to pound yen, no problem. I just subscribed to your channel. Nice. I don't know if you're talking about my channel or on TradingX channel, either which way. Nice. How many years of experience do you have? I have about 5.5 years of experience. So yeah, I've been exposed to the markets quite a while now. Probably have some gray hair too. Okay, I'll take a look at gold as well. Bunch of requests. Hey, Big Bang, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. On NZDJPY trade entry 90.461. Okay, I can imagine you're shorting that one for NZDJPY. So we'll take a look at that one as well. But first, we'll move on to Euro USD since someone did request that a while ago. Okay, so Euro USD, we're seeing some momentum. So this is what I've been looking for Euro USD. Basically, for the market to continue bearish. Basically, we had this big impulse to the downside. Now the market's had the correction and now again an impulse to move. So this is now giving me very, very good confidence that the market is likely to continue and actually continue further as well. So if I see strong close underneath this low from Euro USD on the 4H, that for me is a complete shift in trend. We've gone from bullish trend here to consolidation, now to a bearish trend. Now, any pullbacks I see, any rallies to the upside, I'll be looking to short for another move to the downside for Euro USD. We're testing a very, very key level on the monthly time frame. As you can see here, price support, time resistance. This is a very, very key tipping point where we could actually look to continue this higher time frame downtrend to the downside. Because although Euro USD has been rallying the past couple months, few weeks, the higher time frame is still actually bearish. So we are kind of in a good area where we could actually be looking at a big reversal in the market heading back down. So if we can take out those lows confidently, then I would officially have a bearish bias for Euro and more than happy to sell the pair on any pullbacks. Something like this will look good. Even a retest of this structure, I'll be happy to look to short from upon confirmation. So if we can get a push, retracement, yeah, I think we can get some nice sells in. Targets for this one, there's multiple. You can look at some of these lows here. You can also look at this low here as well. I've obviously got this low. Potentially you can aim for down here if you're looking for a big swing trade, and if you're looking to continue the higher time frame trend as well. We do have some room to the downside as well. But for me, I would be just keeping my eye on these levels here for targets. But first I do want to see that level taken out first. So Euro USD has high potential for a nice downtrend here. And when we get the confirmation of the market taking out that low, wait for the pullbacks and continue to short to the downside. And obviously with the DXY ripping to the upside here, give us a nice strong close. That candle's about to close the next 40 minutes. Interested to see other daily candle closes as well. I've been talking about Euro USD on a key monthly level. Same thing with the DXY as well. Key monthly level, this is where we were ranging. Market was struggling to break out of this range. It finally broke out. This could be the retest of that level, and we could see a bigger move to the upside for the DXY. So more than happy to be looking for some longs if we can get a solid breakout of this 4H range, which looks like we may be getting that in the next few minutes. So yeah, DXY, it looks like we could be getting a bullish bias. So pound USD, Euro USD, looking for the sells there. Pound starting to rip to the downside. I'm still not a fan of pound, quite frankly. It's just way too corrective. It's starting to pick up some pace now, and yes, it has broken through that for a lot of momentum. But I think this is a good trade maybe for the lower time frames, like hourly time frame and below. You've got some clear lower swing highs here. These could be great entries on like the hourly or the 30-minute or 50-minute time frames, and actually get some really nice trades out of that. But for me in the 4H, this structure is a little bit too tightly knit for my liking. I'd rather trade the Euro USD. Looks like it's starting to free flow a little bit better, but same bias essentially. If we can get some more strength in the dollar, I do think we'll just see the continuation of that. And just like Euro, we've got a key monthly level which the market is rejecting. You can see the prime monthly candle on December, big wick to the upside, pull back underneath. Could be seeing a nice bearish candle forming for the month of January potentially. Obviously, we've still got 26 days left before that candle closes, so a lot can still happen. But if structure remains as so, and we don't just break structure suddenly, I would expect a lot more downside for pound as well. So hopefully that will clarify things with those pairs. 86 Chef, I'll take a look out and I'll move on to gold as well. What brings you to discover trading? Actually, it was my dad who showed me trading. So yeah, it was my dad whilst I was still in school. He was trading at the time, and he put me on. He was the plug. Okay, so gold and AUD as well. I'll take a look at US30. No problem. Happy to help. Okay, I'll take a look at Euro NZD as well. So and pound yen. So many pairs. Okay, so I'll start with gold since that's been requested quite a bit. So yeah, gold, I still do have a bullish bias for gold. I'm still looking at buying this pair and taking it further to the upside. For me, gold's not quite at the level where I'll be confident for some shorts. Do have a level up here around 1900, which I feel like gold has a good chance of getting towards. There's also a level here around 1870, which we've almost come into on the daily time frame as well. So I am still looking to buy it back up, and I'm treating this as a correction unless gold takes out a major low, aka this low all the way down there. So it's got a lot of work to do if it's going to take out that low. Unless gold takes out that low, that's when I'll change my bias, which does contradict my bias for the dollar, because obviously I said, if you do get a confident breakout, I'll be favoring dollar strength, which does go against me looking to buy gold. But I have to be quite objective with my trading and on the chart I'm looking at. If this chart is trending to the upside, give me higher highs and higher lows, then I'm only going to look to buy. I can decide not to buy the market, but I can't look to sell because that just goes against my plan, and that's a no-no. So with gold, there is a good setup around here on the retest of that structure. We're falling quite heavy right now, so it'll be interesting to see what we do here. We could just break straight through, of course. I'll wait to see if the market can slow down, fire some wicks to the downside, and then I'll look for a buy to the upside for gold. If we just break straight through, I'll see what gold does next, and if we take out this low, that's a full turnaround for my bias for gold, and I'll start looking for some sells. But gold, I'm still eyes interested on 1822, 1823 area. So that's what I'll see what gold does next. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because dollar's just pushing. Dollar is just pushing. Crazy stuff. I mean, it's good to see momentum back in the market, though. It's good to see. You can see what dollar's been doing over the past few weeks. That's horrendous price action. Now we could actually see some live coming back, which is what we want, as traders. Okay, so gold. Hopefully that makes sense for gold. I'll take a look at AUD/CHF and I'll move on to pound yen. Okay, so AUD/CHF, I'm looking at shorts for this one. I'm looking at shorts. You can see the market is very, very corrective, but it is still pushing to the downside here. You can see the higher time frame trend is still pretty bearish. We've got a clear high up there, low, new lower low, lower high, new lower low, lower high, new low. I'm looking for new lower high for new low potentially. So just playing with the market structure, not playing, just reading the market structure. Playing is the wrong word. Read the market structure. If you come up again, find some resistance, double top it out. That'll be a nice place to look to short from. Coming into this area of resistance there. It does look like a really high probability trade for me. And targets, again, not necessarily all the way down there. You could do, but there's multiple places to set targets. It's key level running here on 0.63. You've got a low here to target as well, low there. So there's multiple places, but the idea and the bias, for AUD/CHF is definitely to the downside for myself. Maybe there might be some short-term buys here, but quite frankly, I'm not really interested because higher time frames are bearish, 4H is bearish. The confluence for me anyway is lined up to the downside, so not going to be interested in buying the pair. So for me, 0.63786 is where I will be interested to take some shorts to the downside. Pound yen, pound yen's been a little bit stale. It's just been moving sideways. Had a bit of a spike there to the upside, which is nice. But overall, the market for me is just a little, it's just sideways. For pound yen, I do have bearish bias as well, like I said, for the other JPY pairs. So I still do have a bearish bias, still looking for us to head back down at these lows here, which is at 155.388. Still looking for us to roll over, form the next lower high, somewhere around this area. There's a possibility we could spike back into that prior resistance there. So we might do something like this, spike into that, and then fall over. As long as we don't break structure, which is that lower high there, as long as we don't break through that, I'm still a bear of this market, expecting us to go higher. I just quite frankly just don't like the price action. which we're seeing on the hourly so far. The market's very, very sideways. It's a nice wick there, but I'd rather it take out the highs rather than not take out the highs, if that makes sense. For me, it's just still moving sideways. It was doing that from the Asian range. Now in the London, bit of a spike, lack of momentum. I suppose it could come at any point, but I'd rather wait for a better setup to sell, aka another move back into that resistance, double top, and then take the sell from up there. That'll be my preferred setup there for pound yen, because it's at a great place. It's just the price action I'm not a fan of. But in terms of bias and everything, I am looking for sells for pound yen. So the USD, okay, we'll take a look. Do you use fundamental analysis as well as technical analysis? No, I don't. I'm strictly technical. I do have, some, I would say outside bias of fundamentals, but with my trading, I strictly focus on my technical edge and maintaining that. Primarily because, when I focus on my technicals and I've got an actual mathematical technical edge over the market, it makes it very, very simple for my job just to carry that edge. Obviously, you can add fundamentals to it, to add confidence to a trade, sentiment analysis. There's numerous things you can add to a position to add confidence. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but for myself, I'm primarily focusing on my technical edge. As long as you have one, all you need to do is just consistently apply it to the markets to pull out a return. Okay, so USD, and I'll move on to USDJPY. I have a sell limit for EURUSD. Where is that sell limit? I'm a bit all over the shop, by the way. I'm reading some messages from before, some messages from above. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Okay, so EURUSD. Okay, so EURUSD has been very, very corrective. I'm not a fan of EURUSD at all. I have to admit, this price action is not what I want to see. I mean, I'm quite I'm currently still working out my bias for USD, to be quite honest, because if you look at that price action on the daily, what is that? Which way are you going? You're going up or down? You're making higher highs. You've also been making lower lows. Now suddenly making some higher highs. Are we starting to break to the upside potentially? Are we about to form another lower high to head back down potentially? I don't have a clear-cut bias here for USD, which is perfectly okay. Every time you're going to come into a chart and have a clear-cut bias or clear-cut idea of what's going on, and when you have that, you just want to walk away from the chart. You want it to be obvious. You want it to be clear when you're taking your trades. Not, I feel like I might sell it. Those are the ones that give you a lot of anxiety when you do trade them, which is never a fun feeling. So yeah, for me, USD consolidation, high time frame hasn't really got a clear bias for myself. 4H, we've recently gone from a bearish trend to a bullish trend, so automatically, I would expect this bullish trend to continue until it doesn't. We potentially could see another phase to the upside. So I would say your best bet is maybe if you can break through this high here, a retest of that structure, then you can probably see this buy trend continue. But yeah, I don't really have any higher time frame confidence to bring to the 4H here. You're just going primarily off this this time frame of that pattern. So yeah, break and retest above the high is not a bad opportunity, especially if you break out with a lot of momentum. You can see this trend continue, but I'm not sure how far we can go because higher time frames are not quite aligned. US30, I'll take a look at, no problemo, and then I'll move on to USDCHF. EuroCAD, someone did say EuroCAD, so I'll take a look. Okay, so NZDJPY, not okay. AUDJPY. I'll take a look at AUD as well. Big bang, no worries. USDCHF, we'll take a look. So yeah, USDCHF picking up some momentum. Obviously, it's a dollar pair. Geeks wise pushing to the upside. Dollar Swiss is going to do something very, very similar unless CHF is doing something crazy. But yeah, it looks like we potentially could be getting, changing price action here. We've had this consolidation. The market's been ranging in for the past few weeks. Had a bit of a breakout to the upside very early on. I remember when the markets came on Tuesday, everything kind of reacted. Dollar was very, very bullish. Big push to the upside. The market's come back down. So we could be seeing a continuation of that. So it's a very, very similar kind of opportunity as to EURUSD. I want to see the market close strongly above this high, because then we're actually starting to play some bullish structure in. We've got the low, We've got the high, higher low, higher high. Now we've got something to work with to push us to the upside. Right now, it's not really clear. It looks like we're breaking out the trend line. It looks like we're sort of breaking out the consolidation. It's a little bit hit and miss because we well could come back into the resistance here and come straight back in, because obviously that's what we did before. There's not too much stopping us from doing that again and coming straight back down. So like I said, for Euro, I want to see price break through that structure, break through, give us that higher high, and now we can start to follow that structure with a higher low on the retracement and buy it back up. Same thing for Euro USD, break through this low, give me that retracement, and then on the lower high somewhere, I'll be looking to short and continue that trend. And so that's the same with USDCHF. So I would have to say I'm leaning towards the bullish side of things because of how price is breaking out that structure. But I want the confirmation, which is clearing this high here at 0.9399. So when that happens, I'll be a lot more confident with the buys for this one. But yeah, dollar's very strong, very strong, which is good. Just because it's moving, not necessarily that I care too much, but it's just moving to the upside. So you can look to follow that momentum. Okay, so I'll take a look at AUDJPY. I'll take a look at USDZAR. Someone did request that previously. Do you trade ZAR pairs? No. I mean, USDZAR I do dabble in sometimes. I haven't traded it for quite a while, but I have traded USDZAR before. Other than that, no other ZAR pair. But I will take a look at USDZAR on the chart. Okay, so AUDJPY will take a look, and I'll take a look at US30 and EuroCAD as well. So yeah, AUDJPY, you said you're short on that one. Big bang. How's that one going? Okay, looking decent. Some momentum to the downside there. Looking good. I suppose you short to coming back into that resistance there. Nice little spike there on the full H, and nice little spike there on the Audi as well. I do like this one. Where'd you say your entry was? Entry at where are we? 90.461. Okay, so it's around about here. So okay, so I presume on that candle there. Nice entry, to be fair. Looking good. How far are you looking to take the trade? Got a clear support target there. We can look to take some profit at. If you can break through that, it could be very happy days for you, Big Bang. Very happy days if you can clear that low. Might be heading right back down into that support there. So nice little trade there. Again, for me, I want price to go a little bit higher into this area. It may or may not happen. Again, there's a bunch of other JPY pairs that I'm looking at, so I'm not too bothered if it doesn't get there. But it is looking good. I have to say, momentum's picking up, which is the key thing. Obviously, this structure here is important because if that does hold, we could see something like that, and price actually do get to the areas I'm talking about. So most logical thing, taking some profit there. And then, yeah, if you can snap through that, could be for a nice move to the downside. Looking good, though. Looking good. Obviously, that would be the target overall. But, yeah, looking good there, Big Bang. Hopefully, momentum can pick up. We can break through those levels. Okay, so EuroCAD, and we'll take a look at USDZAR as well. Okay, so EuroCAD... How is EuroCAD looking? Okay, so EuroCAD, yeah, heading to the downside ever so slowly. Again, I want to see a bigger pullback for this one. Price action a little bit corrective, not really seeing the market have, pristine momentum that we've seen with Euro USD and the dollar pairs coming back in. So I do want to see a bit of a correction to the upside at another major lower high form. We've got one over here. That's the high, next lower high. I'd like to see another one form around here-ish and give us another move to the downside, retest some structure around there. I'll be more than happy to short that for EuroCAD. So I'm looking at a bigger reversal for this one on the higher time frames. We tested some key structure here on the left. I do think we are due a bigger move to the downside into these lows, back down eventually. So EuroCAD for me, bearish bias, and we could be in for a big reversal here. So looking for sells, but still a little bit corrective. So I would prefer a deeper retracement into that sort of area, next lower high. And then, yeah, looking to short it back down. We've got the prior low there. Got some bunch of lows here we can target as well, depending on the risk reward you're looking for. But yeah, EuroCAD for me, bearish bias, and I'll keep an eye on 1.445 as an area to short down to. US30 as well. This one's been very, very corrective, consolidating. And again, high time frames. I'm still looking at a bigger move to the downside for this one. Back down to the low here. We're kind of just testing that structure high, that pricing low. Had a lot of trouble trying to break through. And if you break out the downside of this low, I do think we could see a bit of a trend form back down into that support. So for US30, I would say that there's two ways I'll look to play this one. Either short at the high of the range or wait for it to clear the range. If you can break outside the range, that'll give you some high probability trades on the retest. But if you're looking to trade the range, you can short at the high of the range. It's not really the best opportunity now because it's been moving sideways a lot. So I would suggest waiting for the breakout. But US30, I'd have a bearish bias based on the higher time frame structure. And if my higher time frame analysis is correct, then yeah, that's what I expect us to head to eventually, around 229, 287, around there for US30. So I'll wait for that support to clear. But yeah, that's what I got for US30. And I'll finish on USDZAR, NZDJPY to the lows. Okay, so yeah, to the lows makes sense. Well, hopefully, big bang, we see that momentum come through and we hit that target for yourself. Silver sell confirmed. Yeah, we did discuss silver at the start of the stream. It is looking good for some shorts. Retest for that structure over there around 223.8, 23.7 looks good. And I do think we can head further to the downside. Okay, so EuroCAD. Not EuroCAD, sorry. Euro Pound. So Euro Pound. This one I said earlier on my stream, I'm not the biggest fan of what this one's doing. It's very, very corrective. Personally, I'm looking to buy Euro Pound, but I want price to retrace a little bit deeper for myself first, preferably around the 0.87 area. If I get a correction to there, I'd be more than happy to look to buy it back up again. Looking for that next kind of higher low. Market's kind of giving us this bull pattern here. It's gone from making lower lows to equal lows. Want to see if give us a higher low and start pushing to the upside. So here, sells are your best bet. Something like this would look good upon some rejection, back down to that support. But for me, it's not really a high probability trade that I'll look to take. Like I said, I'm more focused on the longs further down here. If the market gets there, of course, to buy it back up again. That definitely is a trade that I'll look at here. It's at a nice level, but that's about it for Euro Pound. For me, the higher time frames look like they can continue to the upside. So that's the direction I want to be trading in for Euro Pound and see if we can take it further. And finally, USDZAR, which is, we'll type it in, USDZAR. Let's see what's going on with this one. Okay, obviously momentum to the upside, going in partnership with the DXY, which is obviously seeing some momentum to the upside. So USDZAR is going to be pushing bullish as well. How far could this one thing go? I do think with USDZAR, we're going to be making our way back to these highs very, very soon. And I do think the market is just printing another higher low in this bullish trend here. So you can see really, really nice bullish structure since May 2021, been trending to the upside quite well. I do think the market is just creating another higher low to push back to 19 up there and probably some new highs as well. So for me, this one's a really nice swing trade. And if you are looking to trade this one for the next few weeks, I'll just be focusing on the buy opportunities. I would wait for some structure to break first, get that kind of push to the upside, break a structure, and then start looking for some corrections to take this to the upside and eventually 19 up there potentially. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for USDZAR. It'd be nice to see that breakout on DXY as well, which is closing about 18 minutes. So if you can continue to rip to the upside and then just follow the momentum for the rest of next week, really, that will be the plan. But yeah, for me, I'll just be focused on the JPY pairs. CHF JPY shorts, we'll be looking at this one quite a bit. Euro yen, see if I can get back into that one. AUD if it does come up a little bit higher, I'll be looking at that one. And of course, use JPY as well. See what we do at that resistance. Again, not really looking to short all of them, but I'll pick the best one, which looks the best. And then that's when I'll trade. But yeah, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the stream. I'm pretty sure Trade Nick and his team have left some links in the chat to myself, my channel. So feel free to check it out if you are interested in seeing more of my content. But yeah, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Thank you so much for the A1 Trading, Trade Nick for inviting me on their stream. But yeah, guys, I will catch you in the next one.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And remember to check the description below if you're looking for a new broker or looking for a trading community to join. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.